Last season was a bit of a struggle for the Temple Owls, but they're hoping that this year can bring wins to Broad Street. The Northeast guy, Casey Keeler, is back in Pennsylvania, and he's brought some talent with him, including offensive coordinator Tyler Walker, who led a high-octane offense at Montana State. The Owls will return quarterback Evan Simon and running back Trez Worthy while adding some new faces. Back here at the American Football Kickoff, I'm Maria Trivalpice alongside Rini Angolia, Lee J. Duzable, and the head coach of the Temple Owls, Casey Keeler. Coach, welcome to the American Football Kickoff desk.
Yeah, great to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Well, we know a big reason why that you chose to go to Temple was because you wanted to be back in the Northeast. But when you were ultimately making the decision, what was the final straw that said, yep, this is a program I want to be a part of?
Yeah, a couple things. The first thing was, 2 days after the headhunter reaches out to me, the athletic director's in Texas, and an hour conversation became a 3-hour conversation. And, we talked earlier about me FaceTiming with the president, and he's screaming at the television because the Eagles are doing something they shouldn't be doing. and the other thing was the fact that John Fry, he sold me on the fact that Temple is a great brand. To make it greater, we need to get Temple football back to where it once was. And there's been greatness there. And again, the great thing is I played against Temple, so I know firsthand. That 1979 team that won the national championship when I was at Delaware, our loss was to Temple. The 78 team that was number 2 in the country, we got just taken apart by Temple. And then if you look at what they've done with Al Golden and Matt Rule, you know that it has been done and it can be done again. 198 NFL players, 81 draft choices, 4 first-round picks. Some guy named Dawkins is the best tackle in the NFL. So there's a lot there. And, I leaned on Matt a little bit and leaned on Al and some of my own instincts. It's going to take us getting back to recruiting the footprint. That Connecticut down to Virginia out to Ohio. And I did a study, the 2015 team that beat Penn State. But I think it was 124 players they had in the team, like 104 were from that footprint. And so we'll go into Florida, we'll go into Georgia, we'll go into North Carolina, absolutely. But we're going to put our resources into that footprint. And, we've started off already committing a very high-level class. And, again, a lot of that's been because we've put a lot of resources into a great football area, the Northeast.
Coach, let's talk about your new offensive coordinator, Tyler Walker. You bring him in over from Montana State. They had one of the most explosive offenses in all the FCS. They averaged over 40 points a game. What was it about him when you, throughout the interview process, you said, this is our guy, I need to bring him in here?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love what they do. Their mentality is we're going to run the football at you. And then if you look at their passing game, it lines up for a lot of easy throws and a lot of one-on-ones. And so, he sold me on the fact that we're going to play with tempo, but we're going to play with strategy also. He never wants to stay stagnant. So either we're going to give you a formation, or we're going to give you a shift, or we're going to give you a motion, or we're going to give you a tempo. Yeah. And I just love that philosophy. And, it's worked out very well for him. I think we have some pieces of the puzzle, like a guy like Trez Worthy, who I think just clocked a 23.4 on the GPS. He's back 100% now.
Jay Ducker comes
We
with
brought
you,
in
right?
Jay Ducker. And, people always ask me about bringing guys into a program. Like, when you bring a guy in from your last program to your new program, they can't be knuckleheads. It can't be like, oh, that's what you want. No, you need to have a stand-up guy who's going to work hard, and that's who Jay Ducker is. And, he was leading rusher at Northern Illinois, leading rusher at Memphis, leading rusher at Sam Houston. Yeah. And so you bring a proven player in who's just a great human being. And, again, I think we've added some pieces of the puzzle, but the cupboard wasn't bare. There's some good football players there. And so, again, we're really excited about what the opportunity is.
Coach, first of all, happy early birthday. I know it's your birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, 6'6".
You look great. 66, you look great. You got great genes. I'm jealous. So that's first off. Talked about Tyler Walker. I did a Montana State game last year. I was super impressed with him. You bring in Brian Smith from Rice as your defense coordinator. But I'm going to say a name that most people probably don't know or haven't heard, and I know he was important for you and to you at Sam Houston, but it's Clayton Barnes, your general manager. You brought Clayton with you to Philly, to Temple. Talk about how important a guy like Clayton in the general manager position is now in college football.
I was ahead of my time, had a general manager 3 years ago, saw where this thing was all going. Here's a guy that he's a Mensa. I mean, he's a full-fledged card-holding Mensa. And I love this story. He hates it, but I love it. So he's at A&M getting ready for an exam, and he's an engineering major. And as he's getting ready for this exam, he's taking breaks every 45 minutes or so, hour, to work on his top 100 players in the state of Texas. His own personal top 100 players in the state of Texas. And we're talking watching film, we're talking doing evals. And he's going like, why am I preparing to be an engineer? This is what I want to do. So he changed his major, went to sports management. Johnny Manziel was there at the time, so you couldn't get a job with A&M unless you were a legacy. So we were 45 minutes down the road, so he came and interned with me. Went on to work at Georgia State, went on to work at Texas State, had an opening, got him back, and I quickly realized he's brilliant.
Yeah, it's like a money ball for football.
Absolutely, and that's what this is all becoming now.
Yeah.
And so when I came back to the Philadelphia area, there's two people I brought with me. I brought with me Clayton Barnes, and I brought with me Kevin Schott, our strength coach. And again, I left a lot of really talented people back at Sam Houston, but they just weren't the right fit. And to me, that's putting together staff is like a jigsaw puzzle, and the right fit for Temple was going to be the right fit, the different fit for Sam Houston, or a different fit for Rice, or a different fit for whoever else I might work for. So,
Coach, let's talk about your quarterback, Evan Simon. He returns as starter this year. What have you seen in your process of learning the team and learning him that gave you that confidence to go ahead and lock him in as the starter?
Well, he's not locked in as a starter. No. I mean, we brought a transfer in. Giovanni McCoy, really talented. I mean, freshman of the year in the FCS, then runner-up for National Player of the Year, started a bunch of games at Oregon State. But this is the thing about Evan. First of all, he had a great spring. Great spring. And when I met with the team individually, one player at a time, first player I met with. Because when I got there, everyone's saying, like, he's the guy. He's the guy who's going to lead this team. And one of the great things, we're out there at an OTA, because June's that time when you spend almost every single day with the kids. And you kind of give them July to kind of have them figure it out on their own. And so we're at one of those first OTAs, and Giovanni McCoy just gets there. And I'm at a distance watching, and I see Evan showing Giovanni some of the footwork for a play. Like, everyone wants to be the starter, but everyone wants to win. And so he knows that, hey, you're going to come compete with me. We want to win. I have to help you get better. So that's the kind of leader he is. And so that's why he's here, because like he is the heart and soul of this team. He's that guy they all will follow. But he knows right up front there's a competition. But we felt really good about how he played this spring and also the leadership he can give us.
I mentioned him, but let's talk defense. Brian Smith, your defense coordinator, was at Rice. How important is it to bring a defensive coordinator that's familiar with the American? Because after all, there's now 3 triple option teams.
Oh, no question.
In this conference.
Well, no, and that's what you have to be concerned about is that's a whole brand new way of playing defense when you play against those guys. And so he had success against those guys. We played Brian opening day and beat him by 3 scores, and he hates when I tell that story too. but I saw a team that was very well coached. I saw a team that we had some broken plays on them. I knew Brian through reputation. He's also a Northeast guy, and again, when I put the staff together for recruiting purpose, I want a bunch of guys from the footprint from the region, and 9 years in the NFL. How many coaches coached 9 years in the NFL? I mean, so yeah, he's a stud, and he's such an interesting personality. Like in the office, it's just such a, hey, how we doing, guys? You put him on the field, boy, there's just a switch that goes off, and he's just in full, intense coaching mode.
And you got a good linebacker coach in Keith Dudinsky. I've known
Absolutely.
for a long time. Former defensive coordinator as well, so a lot of experience.
Well, and if I've done anything well in my career, I've encircled myself with people smarter than myself. I do not want to be the smartest guy in the room. And I give those guys a lot of ownership. I'll give you a quick example. It's like I've always had Sunday as a work day and Monday our day off. My 2 coordinators have done it the other way. They want to have Sunday off and Monday as a work day. So, like, I can adapt. I'm turning 66, but I can adapt. And so I've changed for them because, again, one of my things is I want to facilitate my coaches being successful. This isn't me coming in and dictating this is how we're going to do everything. I learn every single day. And I always remind our coaches that too. We're all learning every single day. And if this is how you're going to be more successful because you're more comfortable with this, I can adapt a lot easier than you can because, again, I'm just taking care of that team meeting. You're taking care of the everyday nuts and bolts of putting together an offense and a defense.
Coach, what does Temple Tough mean to you? I know you talked to Maria earlier this offseason. You talked about running the ball at people, physical defense, aggressive brand on special teams. You said it's a slogan, and you have to live it every single day. So what does Temple Tough mean to you?
Yeah, you know, Temple, after you spend some time there, first of all, I knew it after 4.5 days of talking to every single player. After talking to every single player, I could tell they knew this was a unique place. I mean, it's a city of brotherly love. Yeah. I mean, there's a chip on your shoulder. It's that Rocky mentality that we're an underdog, and it's that work ethic. It's such a unique place. And being on 10th and Diamond, that's where our facility is. You do understand, like, you're just part of a unique culture. One of the great things that happened was they put me on a Zoom with 130 of the football alums one of the first days I got there. And I wanted to hear, like, what was important to them. And a lot of those guys were on the great teams. They talked about how Al Golden and Matt Rule had them out cleaning the neighborhood. And because they want to be great neighbors. And it's like, wow, how powerful is that? So we have our own 10th and Diamond gear that when we do community service, we go out and we sponsor, hey, we're 10th and Diamond. And 1, 2, 3 times a week, we will go out, coaches included, and clean the whole neighborhood. Nice. Wow. And one of the cool things was when the first days we went out, it was a morning we went out. And I'm out there, and I go out with the fellas too. And I see we had just done a project at one of the elementary schools, and I see a father walking his daughter to the elementary school. And I could just see the pride that he had seeing us cleaning up the neighborhood. It's like, yeah, you guys are part of this. Like, we're not just, like, we're not renting space here. Yeah. We're living here. And I think that's what makes Temple so unique is there's a pride. And I walked away after those 4.5 days knowing I made the right decision coming to Temple because it is so unique. And Philly's such a unique town. And these kids have embraced it. And if you see, we've started off pretty well in the recruiting. You know, I mean, they're only committed right now. They're not signed. But a lot of that was getting those kids on our campus. A lot of that was having them meet our players. And I think of 32 that we had on campus, we had 23 committed. And again, you know, pretty high-rated class right now if you go by what the ratings look like. But a lot of that was those exit meetings, those parents saying, this is family here. Those exit meetings going, your players believe you're going to win. Like, those exit meetings were like, well, I could see my son being here and being successful. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good move. 4.5 days after I took the job, wasn't sure right away, but I thought it was. And now, like, I get excited every single day being around the fellas.
I absolutely love that. We're excited to watch what you do with that group of guys this season. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Let's take a look at Temple's schedule. UMass, Rini, that first game of the year. I don't know, you might have to talk to Coach about that. No comment on it? All right. Hannah, take it away.
Thanks so much, Maria. I'm joined alongside defensive lineman Sekou Chroma and quarterback Evan Simon. Guys, welcome to the Players Desk. Welcome to Charlotte. You guys look great. I mean, dare I say best dressed. How are you guys feeling today?
How about it? First off, thanks for having us. You know, we've had a blast so far, yesterday and today. And
yeah, thank you for having us again.
Yeah,
I mean,
fantastic.
The outfits, I just wanted to show off my African culture.
I love that. I love it. And you guys did a little VP yesterday. You said it was a little rough. Just talk to me about that experience.
Yeah, very humbling. Like I said earlier, you know, we're going to stick to throwing the ball and tackling the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
Long story short, not for us.
Nah.
That's understood. Well, guys, you enter a new era. You just heard your coach, Coach Keeler, talk. He comes back to the Northeast for the first time in a while as the head coach at Temple. Just what were your overall initial thoughts, and how did you guys buy into him?
Yeah, how about it? You know, within the first 4 days, he met with every single player on the team just to kind of get a grasp on where the team is, and he got the locker room right away. And you go back, you look at his track record from all the way from Rowan to Delaware, Sam Houston, and it's very encouraging, and we're fired up.
What about you,
think
Sekou?
back off what he said. He's a natural-born winner, and that's what I love. I love to win, so, yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love to win? I mean, Evan, let's talk about you for a second. You spent your entire junior season as the backup.
Yep.
All right, but you made your first start against Coastal Carolina. Just talk to me about what you've learned from that season to kind of help you to be potentially the starting guy this fall.
Yeah, you know, my work ethic never changed. And that goes back to my roots and how I grew up. My parents just holding me to a high standard, and nothing changed, just kept my head down and working. We knew the opportunity would show up at some point, and, you know, we took advantage of it.
Absolutely. And not only do you have a new head coach, but a new offensive coordinator in Tyler Walker. What's his energy like, and what's the offense shaping up to be?
Yeah, I could talk all day about Coach Walker. You know, he's on the younger side of the coaching industry. He's super energetic, you know, really smart football coach, and guys love being around him.
Awesome. Now, let's shift things over to you, Sekou. I want to come back to you for this one, but you enter your second year with this squad. But what's the energy like in the defense, especially on that defensive line?
I mean, the energy is great. We all want to go out and attack the ball, go get the ball, like, no matter what. So I feel like it's all great so far.
Good luck in training camp.
We're going to come at you. Don't worry.
There you go. Now, I know, Sekou, you have some experience playing multiple positions in high school. I think you played offensive line, defensive line, tight end, long snapper. Just how does that help you being so versatile in your game?
I mean, playing all those really just, it was a lot. I mean, but it was cool knowing to do everything. I mean, that's what scouts are looking for, guys that can play everything. So I just want to make sure I could show the world that I can do it all.
I feel like a lot of people consider Temple as the underdog. How do you guys take that, and what have you guys been working for this season to ultimately change that and have a winning season?
Yeah, like with Coach Keeler's track record, he's won everywhere he's been, so we're extremely encouraged. Obviously, we're the underdog. We know it. We'll embrace it, and that's going to drive us through this training camp, and we're going to be ready come August 30th against UMass.
And I hope these teams don't sleep on us, because it's a whole new, squad, man. We coming to take over for sure.
You talk about that whole new squad. Just how has that team started to gel? What's it been like? You know, learning different faces, learning new guys on the team, just that connectivity, you know, with a whole new roster, pretty much.
I feel like it started off with the culture piece. When he came in, we started off like these 4 letters, PACT. So P is for passionate, A is for accountability, C is for commitment, and T is for trust. We live by those and we bleed that. So I feel like that will really help us during the season to accomplish anything we want.
I love that. And we also just talked a little bit about the Temple Tough. Coach Keeler just mentioned that. But how did you guys buy into that mantra, and how are you living it right now as you prepare for the season?
Yeah, you know, coming off a 3-9 season, not easy. It takes both mental and physical toughness and this word called grit. And that's really something we've focused on during the summer. You know, we're in our 4th phase right now of training camp with winter workouts, and then you got spring ball, summer. So come training camp, we're going to be fired up and just live it out.
Absolutely. I feel like it's going to be here before we know it. But how excited are you guys to finally get out on the field and just play some ball?
I'm too ecstatic. I can't wait.
So Sekou and I, there's no other duo that talks more trash on the field. Goes back and forth.
Every practice.
It's been going on this whole weekend. And, you know, we love each other and we're great friends and can't wait to do 11 on 11 finally.
I love that. And how helpful is it to have, you know, teammates that you're so tight-knit with? I feel like it makes the culture even better, but how is having such good players on the roster like you both, as well as the culture that Coach Keeler is trying to establish here, how has that helped improve the squad?
Yeah, well, when you're closer, you know, better things happen, and you know that locker room's as good as I've seen in 2 years. We got 25 transfers, I believe the number was, and all those guys have bought into one another and also Coach Keeler, so we're ready to roll.
Well, looking forward to seeing you guys this season in action. But guys, thank you so much for joining me here at the Players Desk. It's been a pleasure with you both. But safe travels back to home, and just best of luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.